Yarny.
Hey there, welcome to Yarny. In this video, I will teach you how to make this nice little keychain wristlet. It's super easy to do, suitable for beginners, and it's super quick to make as well. So to make this, you will obviously need some yarn. I'm using this medium number 4 yarn for the tutorial. You'll need a crochet hook that will match your yarn. I'm using a 4mm crochet hook. You'll need a yarn needle to sew at the end, and then just the scissors to cut your yarn. Oh, and also if you have a little keychain here, I bought this from Amazon, super cheap. It comes with a big box. So very good for little projects. Now, in terms of stitches, all you need to know is one stitch, which is the single crochet. Now, I'll go slow in this tutorial so you can follow, but if you don't know how to do the single crochet, I'll link down below a very slow and detailed tutorial from Yarny. All right, let's get started. Okay, so the first step is to do a quick little slip knot. Now the slip knot, if you don't know how to do it, I have a very detailed tutorial that I can link down below, but otherwise you take the tail end of your yarn, you just kind of wrap it around your index finger, bring it on top of the working yarn, which is the side of the yarn that's attached to a ball of yarn. Now take the working yarn, wrap it around your finger again. So you have 2 loops, take the back loop forward, and you have your little slip knot here. So you insert your hook. This is basically the starting point. Now you will take your little keychain here, and what you want to do is insert your hook in the keychain here so you can pull the yarn back through. And like this, you can basically start a kind of a single crochet. So you see how you have 2 loops on your hook here? You wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through both of these loops. Now you don't want it to be too tight because we want to work these stitches moving forward as well. So then you do the same thing for the next stitch. So pull it through both loops, and then again insert it in the middle ring here and pull the yarn through both loops. So once you've done 3 times, you see here you have 3 stitches, the V shapes here. So what you're going to do is just chain 1, so wrap the yarn around your hook, pull the yarn back through. And what we can do now is just very simple, add single crochets. So you insert your hook in the next stitch, then you pull the yarn back. You have 2 loops on your hook, wrap the yarn around your hook, pull it through both loops. So you have the first single crochet, and then again in the next one. And honestly, this is basically it. So you build single crochet on and on. So in order to add more rows, what you're going to do in between each row is chain 1. So wrapping the yarn to pull the yarn through the loop. And you always turn your project because you want to make sure that you're working from the right side towards the left. And then, like I said, you keep adding single crochet in each stitch. So 3 single crochet in each row. So depending on how long you want your wristlet, you just keep going until you reach the desired length. So if you want it to basically wrap around your wrist, just continue and measure the project as you go around your wrist. And in between each row, chain 1, turn your project, and continue your single crochet. So that's basically it. I'll keep going and I'll meet you back when I have reached the desired length of my little wristlet here. All right, so I will do one last row because I'm pretty satisfied with the length of the wristlet that I've done so far. So one final row of 3 single crochet like this. And then I'll just chain 1 at the end so I can secure my stitch. Now what you're going to do is just cut the yarn, maybe, you know, 10 inches or so. All right, so I cut the yarn pretty long because I'm always scared to run out of yarn to sew my project together. Now you will pull the yarn so that it secures with the chain stitch here. And what we're going to do next is very simple. So all we want to do is sew one end with the other, but I don't want to sew it at the very base of my little keychain here. I just like it to be a little lower, but this is really up to you where you want to sew both ends together. So take your yarn needle, and I'll just insert the yarn needle in my yarn. So make sure that your project here is flat so that when you sew it, it's not going to be twisted. Now, like I said, I want it to be a little lower, and all you have to do now is just sew your project together from one end to the other. So just do this a bunch of times, like from one end to the other. There's no right or wrong way to do this, as long as it's secured. And what I also like to do is do a couple knots here and there. So in order to do a knot, once you insert your yarn on the other side, there's basically a little loop here that you can see. So insert your needle in the loop, and that's going to create a little knot. So keep doing this back and forth. You see it's already kind of attached, but I want to do this a couple more times just to make sure it's fully secured. All right, so I'm basically pretty satisfied with how secure this is. I'll just do one last little knot here. And then before you cut the yarn, you just want to bring your yarn in between your project a little bit. Before cutting it. So once you're satisfied, you just go ahead and cut the yarn. I have terrible scissors, but right. So this is now cut. And on the other side, you just also want to bring this piece here using the yarn needle inside your project to hide this piece before cutting it. So once you're satisfied, like I said, go ahead and cut the yarn just like this. And just like that, you have a nice little keychain wristlet. Now, I really hope you enjoyed this video. As always, don't forget to hit the like button to subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you soon for more project. Thanks so much for watching.